Over truck. Right in the middle. It was in the way.
Say hi.
Hi.
This is Clo.
Hello.
J-Dog.
How are you?
Also known as Fuzzy the OG.
No way. It was moving and
It was crazy.
Yeah, we should got it on video.
It's on video. I'll get Haley to send it to you.
Am I on it right now?
Mhm.
Are we honoring Kaylee for her birthday on your vlog?
I said in your card that you would pull the sword out of the stone. I really heard Excalibur, and that sword's actually going to be your weapon and your tool. Take many tasks and turn them into one task. So one swipe, we'll get several things done. All right, probably see the work today. Got done hanging out, Kaylee and Elise. Reason I had the car is because taking Riley to the vet. It's actually, we're taking him to the mobile vet, which is cool. Dude takes his crew around in this RV. It's a lot cheaper than going to the normal vet. It was packed, but got the flu medicine, which is the main thing that she needed. So hopefully we'll be good to go the rest of the summer with that. Grabbing some lunch. What do you think, Riley? Having a good day? Mm-hmm. Try to think of a heavy revy because this is kind of a cool shot, but camera is far away, so we might have to emanate our voices.
Emanate. What is it? Project?
So I told you earlier today that I would have some heavy revies.
Oh, you got heavy revies?
Here's my heavy revy right
I'm
here.
not heavy revy.
Wow.
Don't hurt
I'm
yourself.
gonna do some more deadlifting. This is Jeremy Connor,
What's
my
that?
lifelong bro. I have a beard envy,
Whatever.
but he has a bicep envy, so we're good.
You don't have any of those.
You used to.
No, not really.
I also have tat envy and tan envy.
I saw the light. I saw the light. I saw the light.
He's a father of 4, but his spiritual sons, they're around. They're galore. I ask everyone about family, so I'll ask you about family. Let's do it this way, because you expect me to say kingdom family. I'm going to take that a step further. You have kingdom family at the nucleus. What does 5-fold family look like?
A family that works together to support the growth of kingdom. I mean, I see it as people that work together. And when I say people, gender doesn't matter. It's who God has anointed for that community, that area, to bring, work together to bring heaven to earth, to replicate, to duplicate, in a sense of connectedness with Him, like the intimacy with Him, but the focus being, what is God doing here in this realm or in this realm, this area? Who is anointed, working together. Me and my wife are really big on eating together. I feel like as you stated before as well.
They're really good at it too.
We like to eat together and host. It's just one of our things where you do that, you build bonds, you build relationship, and you recognize and you honor the gifts that everybody carries, whether they're mature in it or not. Fivefold family, it's who God's brought together, working together to accomplish what He has for that family. And so whether that's geographic family or it's people connected and working in a common region or towards a common goal.
So 5-fold family,
Yeah.
is that something that is limited to the church? Is it something that like business, society, culture can emulate?
Absolutely. In my business models that I've done in the past, we tried to figure out who carried what and put them in over those roles and responsibilities, not job titles, roles and responsibilities to cover that and to be what they're best at. And so really develop that out, but we all worked as a family. My employees would call me after I shut down one particular business and just talk about, man, I miss the family dynamic. And I think business can, on a corporate level even, be resemble family.
Mm. I mean, if you look at like the church, you said it's not about titles. It's about you put people where they're gifted at, where they're skilled at.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you could go through the fivefold and say apostles, a father, and all that kind of stuff, or a mother, a matriarch, patriarch, things like that. Do you think we get too caught up in trying to fill those positions rather than looking at what people are gifted at and see them raise and mature in that gifting and what that becomes? Like, how do you think what's the balance between, like, how you would apply it in business? I think sometimes the church, we over spiritualize it because we're looking to have the fivefold present versus having people who are strong in giftings. One of the ways I look at it is this: if you have a family that's creating community, that's transforming culture,
Right. But that's the goal.
That's the goal.
So that's the whole thing: is what's the goal? What's the purpose?
Mm-hmm.
What are you moving towards? And so that may shift per season that you're in, even within that family context. If God's saying, "Hey, this is the area I want you to focus on," I feel like there's a growth into that. You may see more in one area of growth, but then you see it shift to the next side. So as far as like trying to put people in different roles to fit those different roles for those different seasons, I want to be where His presence is and what He's amplifying.
So the goal would be to father first,
Mm-hmm.
and then see what emerges.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's like, because if family, community, culture, you have family surrounded by a community that consists of a family of families, by default they're going to transform culture. When culture
Right.
begins to transform,
Right.
I think that's when the apostles and prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers emerge. Because Jesus, said, He called them, He didn't call them apostles until they were able to call Him son, because they had the revelation of the Father.
They understood, right?
So I think family is at the nucleus, and if we really get into fivefold family, then I think our hearts will be the mother, father, or to be a son and daughter, and to kind of equally honor one another to build this thing that kind of expands out.
Well, I feel like it's the role of even the fathers and mothers to recognize what growth is happening and to water that or fertilize that or what have you. Like again, with our kids, we're looking at what attributes do they carry, what are they excelling at, or where do we see them moving towards, and then asking where do they see themselves moving towards, and trying to help guide them through the questions in their own mind, seeing what their strengths are and then amplifying that.
Watering family.
Yes.
Even me, like our friend Graham had a conversation with me. He's like, dude, you're talking a lot about family, but what are you living? And I said, I don't know. It's an idea that's consumed my life. I'm learning to implement it. And it's easy to say, well, I'm fathering someone or I'm mothering someone, but how are we actually watering their lives? It makes me think about the tree. It makes me think about the plant. Don't overwater it, but don't underwater it.
Right.
Just the right amount.
You got it right.
And fathering, I mean, I don't have natural kids, but I think fathering is the same way. You know when to be constructive, when to
prune,
and
when to let it grow.
List it out.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's times for pruning. I mean, the discipline or what have you, what that looks like of trying to help them recognize how to control themselves, how to help themselves grow, how to carry their own strength. The thing that I've found in the social media aspect that I deal in right now is they don't understand who they are. They don't understand their own identity. They don't understand their own strengths. And so whenever they're feeling beat down or what have you, they can't take the water. Like they're like a soil that's hardened. You have to break up that soil in order for the water to penetrate. So there's times where people have to have some of that broken up so they can actually absorb the water, so they can actually absorb the encouragement, so they can actually absorb the growth. And I think with my own kids, like there's time to prune, but there's also time to let it grow. And it might not look like perfection.
It might not be perfectly manicured.
Right.
But it's what needs to happen.
Right, for that season, for that to grow out into different areas to find out.
So you over manicure something, what do you end up with? A bonsai tree. It looks pretty, but it didn't reach its full potential.
Right.
Bonsai!
Bonsai, Daniel said! Hey, bonsai!
I like saying bonsai. I put it in the last video, and you just saw that clip again from Karate Kid in this video, because I put it in here too. Third question, how can innovation help expand heaven's economy in the earth.
Anytime that there's innovation, I believe it's a glimpse into heaven. I believe that we're seeing the creative, or we're experiencing the creative nature of God, and we're actually implementing it. And that's why you don't I don't believe you have to be a Christian to actually tap into heaven whenever a created being actually steps into their identity and pulls down heaven themselves. I feel like they're partnering with heaven for invention, for innovation, and it's getting that next move forward. So how does it always points back to kingdom, always points back to heaven. Every look at innovation, I believe, does.
So I told you revelation would come, and since I wasn't getting any on my own, I just thought, let me have a living revelation come share with you guys, which became our newest 3 questions episode. So Jeremy Conner, great friend, awesome brother, awesome father. How can they find out more about you? What's your website?
My website, the easiest way to find out about me is go to just send an email to jeremy@jeremyconner.com.
That's
also
really sophisticated.
That's true, but I'm a sophisticated guy. Actually, the other way you can get a hold of us is Seeds of Action. So seedsofaction.com. It's a nonprofit that we're working on some crazy, weird ways to eradicate malnutrition.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I know most of you out there watch the videos, but you don't hit that subscribe button. But then you see it on Facebook, you're like, I'm going to watch the next one, but you don't hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because it like totally helps me out, you know what I'm saying? Gives me some flow and Mo and Joe.
Joe.
Love my Joe.
Who's Joe?
Mojo.
Joe.
That's Mo and Joe. Mojo.
Joe.
Okay, we're going to leave now.
Bye.
Awkward.
Have a good time.